Hey guys, and welcome to another brand new video. In this video, we actually have some pretty crazy news that, in all honesty, I did go say my videos quite a bit. I was kind of expecting, but with all the other analysts and other outside government bodies and everyone else in between, they were kind of assuming this was actually going to go good news for Xbox. But I guess I probably should have listened to my initial gut, because I did go say that in a lot of my different videos, not to try to toot my own horn, or I just kind of thought it seemed a little bit crazy. But it does kind of seem like right now Xbox actually has some horrible news in regards now to the Activision acquisition. And it does kind of seem like the Competition and Markets Authority now may have actually chosen to block Xbox's, deals. We're going to talk about this. We're going to talk about what happens next. We're going to talk about the drama and everything else in between. So if you guys will stay tuned, relax, and enjoy. And of course, give me your thoughts and comments down below. As well, if you guys are brand new, make sure you guys are subscribed with the notifications on. As well, we also have everything. We have the Amazon links down below, the Twitter and Twitch stream down below if you guys want to go and follow. And of course, as well, leave a like and your thoughts down below. So, as you guys have probably been seeing throughout these past few weeks, past few months especially, the CMA, which is basically just the UK, has been very kind of the big focus when it comes to if it's going to get approved or not. I'm not necessarily sure exactly. We might actually go through the article, but I'm not really sure if it could still somehow pull it on through with like 99% of other countries. Like, let's say if America approves it, if it might actually maybe go and overstay and overweigh the initial calls from things like the UK. But at the same time, if you're something like Microsoft, you don't really want to go and somehow not have the deal go through in a certain country with millions upon millions of folks already involved. But right now, it does kind of seem like the Competition and Markets Authority is blocking the Xbox Activision acquisition deal, and Microsoft will obviously be trying their best to appeal the deal itself to go and see, but this is really not good news. So the UK government, basically, the Competition Markets Authority, has moved to prevent Xbox's acquisition. This also stems off the news where a lot of folks out here were assuming and just saying like, yeah, it looks good. Yeah, the vibe's going good. Yeah, Xbox has these other outside deals. They're working with other different types of companies. Like, they're trying to make sure these Steam deals, Nintendo deals, are trying to offer good stuff to Sony. And, well, funny enough, it just doesn't seem like it actually went through. So we had an official government press release over here saying that the CMA has prevented Microsoft's proposed purchase of Activision over concerns the deal would alter the future of the fast-growing, more so cloud gaming market. Now, I just want to go and mention, I've actually talked about the cloud gaming market quite a bit. Like, in my mind, it probably seems like one of the more, important features or more important things being to look out for. Mainly because, well, it makes sense. Like, that's like a big thing that even PlayStation can't compete with. Google Stadia had to shut down, as well as also it's just a lot of money, and Microsoft has their own basically cloud hosting stuff. So if even Amazon, which I believe had Luna, if even Amazon, which is a big AWS supplier, one of the biggest in the entire planet, if even they are failing, there really isn't any other else to kind of like compete. And that's why we've also been bringing up the mobile markets, we've been up the cloud markets, we've been pulling up everything else too as well. They're basically saying this will be leading to less innovation and less choice for UK gamers over the years to come. Basically, say Microsoft's solution has significantly shortcomings and also require regulatory oversight by the CMA, basically stating like, hey, we're going to probably have to deal with this. Like, we're probably have to go and have like a hand-holding session to make sure everything's going good. And as well, the cloud gaming needs a free, competitive market to drive innovation. Because right now, cloud gaming, cloud hosting, cloud streaming is still a really new market. Even though we've been seeing stuff like, say, Netflix or other things, streaming as a whole is way different. So the final decision to prevent the deal comes after Microsoft's proposed solution failed to effectively address the concerns in the cloud gaming sector. So it kind of seems like maybe the console sector might be fine with like Sony and all them, but cloud gaming, they haven't had any other big comparisons, and even Nvidia has also been losing a lot of games that they have issues with that. So basically, when Microsoft entered a $69 billion deal to buy Activision, one of the most popular video game publishers in the world, in January as of 2022, which is crazy on how long it's been, and the CMA launched an in-depth review of the deal in September 2022, and on February provisionally found that the merger could make Microsoft even stronger in the cloud gaming too as well. So basically, one big thing to note is that basically on the different websites, the deal will be basically just making sure the future is going to have a lot of issues, which I don't think a lot of people like. We want to make sure that people have options. We want to make sure that people have vibes. We want to make sure it's going to be okay. So Microsoft has retaliated by saying that it will appeal the decision. So just in case you guys are curious in the courts, essentially, like if you have a final decision, you can spend a lot of money. Like you can basically go take this to the Supreme Court if you want to. You can basically go push it as high as you want to if you would like. And with all of that, it's a good sign. It basically is like, hey, we could still at least like I want a second opinion, or I want to have a third opinion, or a fourth opinion. But at a certain point, like if you go hit like that high, you're gonna be wasting a lot of money. And if these judges and these people involved in the deals, for some odd reason, don't see the long-term merit, they're not gonna go for it. And it does kind of seem like they're gonna appeal it. Like they already spent so much money in lawyers and like law firms and deals, and some other countries have already approved it. It's almost kind of dumb if they wouldn't for any reason. So basically, said the deal would alter the future of the fast-growing cloud gaming market, leading to reduced innovation, which I actually probably would agree on as well. Microsoft has rated saying it will appeal the decision, saying it's disappointed by the result that appears to reflect a flawed understanding of this market. We're especially disappointed that after lengthy deliberations, this decision appears to reflect a flawed understanding of this market and the way the relevant cloud technology actually works. But once again, Microsoft has like an almost unlimited budget, especially in comparison to other game companies, which also in turn kind of means that Xbox, if they want to grow Xbox through intercompany loans or whatever it might be, is a big deal. Like Xbox has a lot more money than a lot of other companies, and same with Microsoft too as well. Plus also the development, the time, and as well the really big AI acquisitions too when it comes to ChatGPT, or Microsoft threw in like $10 billion, well, it makes it harder. Brad Smith, the vice chair and president of Microsoft, said, "We remain fully committed to this acquisition and will appeal. The CMA's decision rejects a pragmatic path to address competition concerns and discourages technology innovation and investment in the United Kingdom." Basically saying like, hey, we're not going to invest our time and money and effort into the UK because you just don't want us to. Like, what's the point? We're not going to grow the UK. We're going to go just do whatever. We've already signed contracts to make Activision Blizzard's popular games available on 150 million more devices. So think like Nintendo, think Nvidia, think Steam. And we remain committed to reinforcing these agreements through regulatory remedies. We're especially disappointed after lengthy deliberations. This decision appears to reflect a flawed understanding of this market and the way the relevant cloud technology works. So is there an inadequate solution? The CMA said Microsoft failed to provide a solution to its concerns over the deal's impact on the cloud gaming market. While the CMA deemed that Xbox making Activision Blizzard games like Call of Duty exclusive to its consoles wouldn't make sense, it didn't reach the same decision on cloud gaming, which also might go and returns down to Game Pass, where it might be saying like, hey, they might focus too heavily on Game Pass. They might go and put too much effort into Game Pass or everything else in between. Microsoft has a strong position in cloud gaming services, and evidence available to the CMA showed that Microsoft would find it commercially beneficial to make Activision games exclusive to its own cloud gaming service, which would make a lot of sense for Game Pass. It also may not be a pure exclusivity, but more so like a $10, $15 deal, which other contracts such with like Nvidia or PS Plus probably just wouldn't be able to go and handle. Like you'd have to pay like a lot of money to get Call of Duty for $15 on a Nvidia streaming service because they want to go and drive things on Game Pass, which makes sense. The deal would reinforce Microsoft's advantage in the market by giving it control over important gaming content such as Call of Duty, Overwatch, and World of Warcraft. The evidence available in the CMAs indicates that, absent to the merger, Activision would start providing games via cloud platforms in the foreseeable future. So basically going to say like either way, they probably like something like Activision probably would be putting stuff like say Call of Duty or Overwatch or World of Warcraft, maybe like an overall like subscription-based system, kind of think how the Uplay or EA does it for their games. And they're kind of assuming like if Microsoft didn't do it, they probably would. The deal would reinforce Microsoft's advantage in the market by giving it control over important gaming content. So the CMA raised these concerns in its provisional findings in February, giving Microsoft an opportunity to present a solution like it did, but it doesn't really seem like they had a good solution as well. They said it did not significantly cover different cloud gaming service business models, including multi-game subscription services. It was not sufficiently open to providers who might also offer to wish these same versions of games too as well, other than Windows. It also standardized the terms and conditions on which games are available, as opposed to them being determined by the dynamism. So basically saying like they bought this so they can make the decision themselves, rather than like someone out like having like a free market decide. They basically just don't want to have that be too big. The CMA believed that if the deal is approved, there would be a significant risk of disagreement between Microsoft and other cloud gaming providers, especially if a 10-year agreement was put in place given how fast the market is evolving. Which will also kind of say, hey, like if they're going to be doing this stuff for 10 years, the entire market is going to be different in 10 years. Whether like it might be different 3 years from now, 2 years from now. Think about how just big the world is right now as well. So it therefore deemed they would not have to regulate the ramifications of the deal going forward to ensure that everything was proceeding properly. Preventing the merger would allow market forces to continue to operate as they have been and wouldn't require future innovation from the CMA. So I have a chance to go and say like, hey, like we're probably going to be going and seeing the world change a lot in the next 10 years. You can't really have a contract deal for the next 10 years because we don't know what's going to happen in the next 5. They also want to prevent a head start, saying CMA highlighted that Microsoft is already in a strong position when it comes to cloud gaming through its aptly named Xbox Cloud Gaming, and granting it access to the likes of Call of Duty and other titles would probably deter and potentially stop competitors from even trying. It's like one of those things where like you have like there's a random, I don't know, like I'll say a Walmart, and you're probably not going to want to open up a grocery store or like a Target right next to it because it already has the first mover advantage. Really bad example, but just so you guys can kind of know. Cloud gaming is growing fast with the potential to change gaming by altering the way games are played, and I kind of agree. I could probably see a lot more things on subscription-based systems in the future because people would rather go maybe make $150 over 12 months than make maybe one $70 purchase or maybe like $170, $130. But as well, they also can kind of look their numbers, try to go get expansions. They can do it for extra revenues and keep on expanding. every single month with a better profit margin. Good examples maybe like Nintendo. They probably go make an okay amount of money off of like their monthly subscriptions, but they more so push for games. But sometimes if they don't release any brand new games, their revenue numbers might go down as well. So Microsoft already enjoys a powerful position and head start over other competitors in cloud gaming, and this deal would strengthen that advantage, giving it to the ability to undermine new and innovative competitors. So think Nintendo, they basically have like no good cloud gaming. Microsoft engaged constructively with us to try to address these issues, and we're grateful for that. But the proposals were not as effective to remedy our concerns, would have replaced competition with ineffective regulation in a new and dynamic market. Cloud gaming needs a free, competitive market to drive innovation and choice. That is the best achieved by allowing the current competition dynamics in cloud gaming to continue to do their job. Basically trying to go and say that cloud gaming is the big one, not necessarily Call of Duty itself, although Call of Duty does play a big part. And as well, it does seem like the CMA is not with it. So what's kind of next? I think the next biggest thing for this one is that, well, yeah, it's far. Like basically Activision's Blizzard wants to go and say that they will be, well, still going for this case. They want to try to appeal it. They're going to keep on paying lawyers. They're going to keep on pushing for different alternate deals because they want this deal to go through. And if it doesn't go through in the UK, it probably won't go through in the FTC in America. And they keep on saying it's a huge, complex process, and they want to make sure things can actually go through and going from there. So they're going to keep on pressing. They're going to keep on fighting it in law and make it delayed even longer. But at the end of the day, if an appeal goes through and a different court and different judge sees it, they actually might be able to go out and say it might be okay. But as well, like I keep on saying, a lot of the cloud gaming stuff has been kind of sketchy. As well, think about the mobile market. I think the mobile market's not the biggest deal, but cloud gaming is so new and very expensive and all of that, that it could have a lot more big issues. And of course, as well, there was kind of like an on-off, which is why I kept on seeing so surprisingly that the CMA was going to get approved, because I mean, I was still skeptical. I said it in all my videos itself, but it's very, very rough news because we just saw so much news, so much drama, even Sony themselves kind of playing their strong hand, and it's kind of just been a really big saga when it comes to stuff in general. So right now we're gonna have to go and see. Like other states and other countries are still okay with it, but even the United States is still up in the air, and I believe if the CMA is not happy with it, it's probably not gonna be going good for them. So give me your thoughts and comments down below. As well, make sure you guys are subscribed with the notifications on. We have the Twitter and Twitch room down below. We have all the nice little general links to as well down below. Twitter, Twitch, subscribe if you guys are new, leave a like, and your thoughts and comments, and good luck to Xbox. I'll give you guys more updates when we have a chance to, but it doesn't look good as of right now.